Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel. This is Jade with Yes, 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 and today we're going to do our Lenormand January 2019 spread. And the Lenormand deck was created by Mademoiselle Lenormand in Paris in, I believe, the 19th century. And it's reminiscent of the old gypsy way of laying out cards, and I really like it. There's only 36 cards. It kind of gives you a quick and dirty or cut and dry way of looking at things. I'll read them like a sentence, and if it resonates, wonderful, and if not, you know, it's a general reading, so I'll do my best. We'll go over a few aspects, of course, but let's get started. I'm going to use the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck, which is beautiful. And if you, well, first let me just say thank you for all of your likes and your shares and your subscribes. If you resonate with this, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. And if you'd like to go into more depth, because we're just going to touch very surface level, because Lenormand can be read multi-layers. I'm happy to do that and work with you privately. So all of that information, my website, Instago, is all in the box below. So let's see where we're going to begin here. For Sagittarius, 2019 January. Happy New Year, Sag. Here we go. I love you, Sages. You're so generous and kind. You like to have a good time. There's no reason to get hung up on negativity. So I hope this is a great reading for you. I'd love to start the year off great. Okay, here we go. We have the Ship, the Man. Okay, I keep flipping these cards because they're all going to be laid out upright. The Child, the Stork, the Clover, and the Bear, the Ring, and the Moon. The Bouquet on the second line, and the Woman. Interesting that both cards are right there. The Snake, the Sun, the Birds, the Fox, the Mountain, and the Clouds. Next line is the Letter, the Mice, the Dog, the Book, Stars, Lily, the Whip, and the Anchor. Fourth line is the Rider, the Path or the Crossroads, the House, Fish, the Tree, the Key, the Heart, and the Scythe. And then the final line, this will be our kind of bringing it all together line, and hopefully you can see all of that. Looks like I've got a little bit of glare. So we have the Park or the Garden, the Coffin, the Cross, and the Tower. All right. So first things first, here are our significator cards, the masculine energy and the feminine energy. You're both on the same line here, so what I'm going to read is, this is the past, this one line here, this is our present line, and then all of this will be our future of January 2019. Which is great because Lenormand kind of gives you a quick way of looking at things, and then they can easily change. So we'll do that. Another thing I want to do is check and see if any of the cards are in their own house. So give me a moment, I just need to count. Okay, so we have two cards in their own houses. The Bouquet, which is a card of, it's a card of support and favorable information, if that makes sense. I think of it as, if you're in the hospital, it's a get well soon bouquet. It's that you're getting support from your community and from your family. It comes to you in terms of a wish. It means that you are being supported. The universe has your back and your community has your back. It's all good blessings here. So this is something that's in your past. If it's in its own home, it just means that we have a focus on that, and that in the past you've been supported by your family and your community. I hope you feel that way. That's a beautiful way of feeling. Now in the future, we have the Fox in its own in its own house, and the fox is cunning and sly, but also the entrepreneurial card. It's the card in which he finds a way to make things happen when where no one else would see a path or a road. So the fox is very good at what he does in creating his own journey, creating his own path. So with that being said, also in the future, we've got some of that flavoring this reading, in that, you know, we're really moving towards our individualism here in January and on your own path. So I'll leave these kind of lifted so I can refer back to them. But let's get started. So in the past, we have this ship. There was some travel or some adventure in the past, or there's also an adventurous male here that we're talking about. Or if you are the masculine energy, that is you. You have been traveling, or you have some type of adventurous spirit, okay? And moving on into the future, there's some kind of newness that's beginning, or an immature possibility, new way of being that you're stepping into, and we'll get some more clarity as we keep going. So there's a new beginning that looks to be quite lucky and blessed with a financial stability, okay? So what I'm thinking is that we're talking maybe business. Maybe in the past you have been a traveler for your business, and now in the future you're making a change in your business so that you can get a new contract that can bring you some more stability, and that will come within the next, and actually we have a new eclipse coming up at the beginning of January, so I would say within a month or 28 days of that eclipse, so that would be the beginning of February. The other thing is, this could be an emotional contract that you're making with perhaps your mother or another very strong feminine role in your life. So in the past, there has been some adventure and travel and movement, and perhaps you've moved back home, and now we're starting something new here where you've signed a lease, you're back with, you have some emotional connections now to your family, or specifically to your mother, or this is also a new business decision that you've made that will reveal itself in the next month. That's going to be for both masculine and feminine energies, because you're here on the same line, okay? Otherwise, if you are, actually I'll say, if you're the feminine, this could be what's going on with your masculine energy. So this is what his life is about, okay? Now let's talk about the feminine energy. In the past, again, you had a lot of blessings, a lot of beautiful support, and you felt it. You felt supportive, and also this is you, that you were giving support. Now, in the future, what we have is a little bit of it could be some kind of deviousness or something around you, maybe somebody just speaking gossip or trying to rain on your parade, put in some negativity into what was once your positive way of being. So just be careful for, there might be someone around you who's trying to take you down a notch, but I don't think it's really going to make any effect on you, because the sun is the strongest card in the deck, in my opinion. So it's going to enliven you and this energy. So whatever this is, this could also just be another female in your life, and she could bring you some luck and some creativity and a lot of success. So despite whatever this might be, if it's negative or not, you're going to have some success here coming in the future. And what also is coming in is that there's going to be talk about you, talk around you. And so it could tie back into this snake card. So do be aware if people are talking about you behind your back. But the birds could also be that you're in conversation with another. And because we have the fox here, and this is the elevated card, I'm thinking that this is also a business choice here. Or it could be sneaky behavior, but I'm not seeing anything about relationship. I'm not seeing anything about friendship here. So I'm going to go with this being a work card. And that, you have grown in your community. You've been seen as somebody who is leading, and somebody's trying to take you down, perhaps, or people are talking about you. And, maybe they're talking about you, but it's not necessarily in the most supportive of ways, okay? It doesn't have to be a huge drama. It can just be a little bit of talk, a little bit of back talk. But this is where your strength is. This is what it's about. It's about being resilient and about being independent, despite any kind of loneliness or confusion you might have. But that loneliness and confusion might come forward. It might come to you by the end of the month. Mostly because I'm feeling like this might have been close relationships, someone who's, keep friends close and enemies closer. So it could have been, somebody who's close, who you might have to cut things off with or put kind of at a distance. It's just going to be a bit of a slow move forward for you in this work choice that you're having, if you're the feminine, okay? Now, if you're the masculine, this is talking about your feminine counterpart and what she's going through. So what she's going through is that there's a bit of challenge that she's coming up with that has to do with her work situation, and she is a benevolent, and again, this is, Sagittarius, you are the benevolent. So she is a benevolent energy, but there's something that is kind of attacking her, or she's or there are some energies that are settling in and taking away from her benevolence, taking away from her sunshine, the brightness of her being. She'll get past it, but there is just some challenge, and she's having some challenge specifically with working on her own and not feeling lonely or confused, because again, when you forge a new path, the journey can be arduous, and it can also be lonely because you have to make your own way. And so I think that's what's going on for the feminine in this reading. Okay, let's go to this next line. We have the letter, which is about written words. So in the past there were some emails or some texts, perhaps even journaling, and in the present it's made you a little anxious, okay? It could have been a message received, or it could have been a message that you were putting out there, or just perhaps how you were feeling. There's just a little bit of anxiety currently, okay? And it's specifically due to a friendship. Now, if it's this stuff, what we were talking about up here, then you're right on point with what you're feeling, is that, the people who you thought were close and supportive of you in the past may just be talking about you or taking little notches out of your bedpost, okay? So just, I don't even know if that's the right way of saying it, but anyway, just be aware that, just keep your eyes on the people who are around you. And I'm not seeing that they're taking you down by any means. I just feel like perhaps the loyalty isn't as forthcoming as you might have thought, okay? And everybody's human, all right? So there's a little bit of anxiety about a friendship because there's a secret. So there's something that's being talked about, there's some kind of secret that's happening, and it's a secret that is going to be revealed. It's something that's going to be revealed by the outside world. Like, this person's not going to come forward and say, this is the secret. It's going to be something from, you're going to find out about it, and it's going to be from left field how you're going to find out about it. It's going to be a destined reveal, if that makes any sense. And I'm thinking it has something to do with either your family, your ancestry, this legacy that you're trying to lay for yourself in work, or it could be some type of sensuality, because we're right here next to the whip. So it could be, if we want to take it back to just a very basic, is that you are in line, maybe you've just met somebody here, right, in your present, okay? So you, Sag, have just met somebody you're really interested in, but there are people around you who might be kind of digging in and taking away from the beauty of that new love unfolding, because there's some jealousy, because there's some sexual jealousy. Maybe these friends actually would like to date you, or this friend, this one person, or perhaps this one person wanted to date the person that you are now seeing. So just know that there's a little bit of jealousy there, and it's something that is deeply ingrained, okay? It's not that this person is bad, it's something that this person, and actually what I'm going to say is that this person is in your life because they're going to trigger you and trigger this depth of you questioning yourself, and questioning if this is a relationship that's worth it, questioning if this is a job choice that's worth it. So this person is being triggered, and they are triggering you because there's some type of karmic connection that you have. And I'm talking about the friend. I'm not talking about this relationship here. What I'm seeing with this relationship right now is that it's very close, and it's just kind of blossoming now, but there's this stuff around it that could bring it down. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Okay, next line. The writer means that messages and things are moving forward. So you've got a message in the past that's moving you towards this place of making a choice. And the choice is about your sense of self and home, okay? So maybe it's that you're moving and you're actually physically going to be moving to a new location, or that you are changing the way in which you feel about yourself. There's some type of change that you're uncovering. I'm thinking that we're gonna lean more towards the physical move because we have the fish here, and the fish is about finances. So what I'll say is that you're making a financial choice to move, and what that's going to do is it's going to create, this is going to be more of a stable place for you to live. It's going to be more of a place where you can stay and build roots, dig in, all those things. And maybe the 5 is significant. Maybe you'll be there for 5 years, or maybe you've moved from a place for 5 years and now you're putting in roots in a new place. But so this new place has shown up, you've made a choice to move, and what it's going to do is bring some love there, and it's going to come quickly. Now, I think what this could be is that, if we want to talk about sense of self, you're getting more connected to who you are, what your personal needs are, your emotional health, your spiritual health. You're really digging into that part of yourself, and you're really developing that part of yourself so that then you can be on track to love another. Now that's very ethereal. In the real world, you made a physical move that's a financial blessing for you, so that you can have some solid roots in the ground, and that you can start a new relationship that's going to come quickly. And maybe it's this one right here. Sometimes when we move to a new place, we need to make up our own space, and if we had a roommate before, we might not have been able to have a full relationship with someone because we didn't have our own space. The other thing is, maybe you've made this choice to move in with this person, okay, and that decision comes quickly. So it's coming. That's what it's come. You're making it, and you're moving forward. Okay, and then our final line here is we have the park, which is about community and the public. And that being out in the public seems to be coming to an end or changing, because maybe in the past it has been something where it was a burden for you, and that you need to just go into isolation for a bit. And that's totally fine. Very cut and dry here is that really, and this is just for a month, there's been a lot of action here with the people who are talking about you and around you that are, you're a little anxious about it. So the best choice for you to would be to just remove yourself, take some time away, and rest. And that's what that's about, okay? So let's talk about this relationship a little bit. Like I said, it's pretty strong. There's not much going on in between the two. But what's surrounding you is you're both coming from a really great place. You're supported. You've got some adventure and some love there of self and strength in self. Perhaps there was a lot of texting in the past. So maybe it was an online. You met each other online. But right now there are these energies here that are a little anxious and a little unsettling. And again, I feel like this is outside energy coming in. And it's about your friends, or who you thought were your friends. And we also have some, it could be children, but it could also just be immature people around you. Okay, so check that as well, because I think that's what's keeping you two from developing into something more. But further on, we have the heart and the movement coming forward. So I think that it's possible that this will work itself out by the end of the month. Now the other thing, and I will bring it up here, is that because the scythe is after the heart, usually when the scythe is in front of the heart, it means that we're cutting, love is ended, right? But because the scythe is afterwards, I'm reading it as if love is swiftly moving. Now we could reverse it and just know that this, all of this outside energy could create this relationship push you guys into a bubble so that you implode, okay? So just be aware that you are in charge of your personal surroundings, and you are fully capable of handling yourselves in any situation, and that you can put your guard up against whatever might be slowly kind of eking away at what could potentially be a very beautiful relationship, okay? So there is that. A little bit more about this heart, this love here that's coming in. It really, there is well, there's a lot of sensuality and sexuality, so it's really kind of saucy here. I think that it's a really great love affair that you have. It is far away, so I think that it's gonna be some time till you can work to get to this place, but it can be stable, right? There's some stability in this love, and again, it is something that will be divinely revealed and supported by the universe. That's, I mean, the key is there for that reason. Okay, and then we talked a little bit about work. He's got some work issues and she's got some work issues. You're working out your work issues. He is more connected and has like some type of contract that he's working on, that there's a little bit more stress, and she's a little bit more confused in her work situation here. Again, those are momentary feelings, and I think that all of this is just, you know, passing energies. So keep that in mind. That's we see it as it is, and then now we can call it out and decide how we want to move forward. And that's the beauty of the Lenormand, is that you see it, and then you decide, okay, well, I want to make these changes, and so as things are developing, I'm going to change this and do something else. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Sag, for 2019 in January. Let me know how that resonates for you. I'd really be interested. I'm trying out some new stuff here. So in the meantime, I'm going to wish you a very happy New Year.